a blissful day in Fremont, California, and we've pitched a tent in the backyard of the baking capital of the world, American High School. My name is Elena Fu.
And my name is Shreya Patil.
And welcome to the Great American Bake Off.
When you eat this, right? You eat our cakes, you feel alive. You feel better than alive.
Thousands have applied, but only the top, most distinguished and well-known amateur bakers have been chosen.
Our bakers will be working hard this week to survive and gain the title of the Great American Baking Champion.
Today, our bakers have been given the task to whip up their best bake creation on the wonderful theme of holiday movies.
Now, personally, I have no baking skills or genius recipe ideas, but I know our contestants do.
Who are our contestants?
Hi, I'm Prisha Lakara, and I'm a freshman. I'm in 9th grade, and I own a personal bakery, that's an at-home bakery. So I thought this would be fun to try.
Well, I'm Trisha Mainapati. I'm a senior in American. And quirky fact about myself, I don't know if this is quirky, but I like to analyze movies after I watch them in my own head.
Hi, my name is Geeti Danda, and I'm in 9th grade, and I love to bake.
Sup, I'm Kylie. I'm a sophomore. I'm a sophomore. Yeah. Shoot. What day is today?
December 22nd? It's Tuesday.
Alright. It's a Tuesday. I'm Kylie. I bake.
My name is Sarvani. I'm a sophomore and I play the violin.
I love them already. Now, I know each of our bakers have some amazing things planned, so let's hear them.
Snowman, so I could be a 2-tier snowman cake. But
wow, I guessed that right away. That is quite an impressive 10-second drawing.
I couldn't get the arms, but it's okay. Yeah, so I plan to make the cake flavors a marble cake, so it'll be a mix of chocolate and vanilla. And first I was going to do it with a vanilla buttercream so it matches the snow effect, and then I was going to add coconut shavings to actually give it the actual live effect. And then for the nose, I was going to use an actual carrot because I think that would fit with it. And then the hat and the scarf are going to be made out of fondant. And then I was thinking I'm just going to pipe on some black frosting for the buttons and the eyes. And then for the arms, I was probably just thinking some skewers or something. I've always watched these kind of baking shows and everything. I thought this would be quite similar to it. So I thought it would be something fun to try out and see how well I could do compared to other people. And I'm sure they have a ton of talent as well.
Ooh.
It's like elf, the elf uniform. I'll be making an elf-themed cake with Will Ferrell's movie. I really love that movie. So I have an elf-themed cake. The cake's going to be a uniform, so it's on the top is his uniform. And I'll be adding some decorations on the side. It's going to be a chocolate cake with Italian meringue buttercream. I used to test out my baking skills, push my limits on my baking skills. I've been baking for a while, but just pushing my limits on how well I can do something. Yeah.
So I'm going to be attempting to make a Grinch out of fondant in the center, and I'll put some other decorations around it because him stealing presents and just stuff like that.
Do you know what type of cake you're going to be making?
I'm going to be making a tres leches cake. I'm planning on using fondant for my dessert, and I've never used it before, so I'll have to see how it goes.
Oh, I see it.
Oh.
So basically, the first iteration of it was a 3-layer cake where it's 3 teas, where it's Thai tea, black tea, matcha. Then I realized I don't want to be cleaning up a bunch of pans because I'm lazy. So I thought to myself, let's do macarons. It's still goes with the matcha, the black tea, and the Thai tea. Then I realized, how am I gonna how am I gonna get the tea flavor in the shells? And then I hear, oh, but the shells are not flavored, it's all in the filling. But then again, I don't have any food coloring, so how am I gonna get the color into the shells? And I realized I could just swap out the black tea with coffee, and that'd be a lot easier because then I won't have to mess around with like, what's it called? Food coloring or like sugar syrups. Well, since like I plan on baking macarons for fun, since like the first time I did that, it went well. Second time I did that, it went well, and then rest went downhill, probably because I overmixed it. So hopefully it won't fail. Or maybe it's because I keep on prying them off while they're still hot.
Oh, I see it. Wow, that is fabulous.
Alright, so it's gonna be, I'm gonna make a classic eggless red velvet cake, and the decoration's gonna be inspired by Home Alone, like Kevin's nutritional mac and cheese.
And what's your biggest concern?
I think it's probably like the oven, because like sometimes like the
I feel that.
like taking out the cake from the oven, because like it can be really hot, you know.
Man, all of those ideas look amazing. Is there a function to eat through a Zoom screen?
From my experience, pixels are just not that tasty.
Unfortunate. Well, without further ado, on your mark,
Get set.
bake!
For those who don't eat egg or can't eat egg, flax seeds is a pretty good substitute for it. So I'm gonna just dump this all in here. And I'm feeling pretty great, you know. Even though this is my first competition, I feel like I do have a fighting chance to beat my other competitors. And I have high hopes for this cake.
Then I made the Italian meringue buttercream, first by whisking in the egg whites, then by making the sugar mixture. The sugar mixture was not much of a success the first time I made it. I basically crystallized the sugar by boiling it too much. So I started over and made the sugar mixture again, and this time it came out perfectly.
Alright, status update. The matcha macarons, they aren't looking too good, but I think they're edible. We're just gonna ignore that. They may not be good looking, but hey, they're like Shrek. They're beautiful on the inside.
Putting the cakes in the oven finally. And here here's how they look once they are completely baked.
So I started by making the vanilla batter by combining the dry and wet ingredients until I formed a smooth batter. Then I previously had made chocolate batter, so I combined both flavors into the pans and baked them at 350 until they rose and looked ready to me.
So, Shreya, what are you thinking of eating for lunch?
After this, may I suggest cake?
Yeah, I'm fully prepared to promote these bakers from amateur to pro. Welcome. This is our segment with our fellow professional amateur chefs. So, could you guys start by please making some introductions?
Hello, my name is Anusha Nayak. You can refer to me as Chef Nayak. I actually provide the cakes for Baskin Robbins, and that is why I have a lot of gift cards for Baskin Robbins. I hope to see some amazing cakes today.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Karen Scuria. You can call me Chef Scuria. Chef Scuria. I'm such an innovator of baked goods that I created the first star chocolate shortcake dark chocolate cookies, and then Trader Joe's bought the recipe from me and started selling them. I'm just an innovator and I make all these recipes. I'm expecting a great load from you all today.
How many Michelin stars do you have?
A lot.
Beautiful.
I have 13 because 13 is my favorite number.
I heard that Gordon Ramsay has 13 as well.
Oh, I think Gordon Ramsay might actually have 12. I am the best in the whole entire world.
Are you sure?
Oh,
I'm
you.
You just make star cookies. Excuse me.
Stay in your lane, Miss ice cream that's not as good as Cold Stone.
Oh my, can someone mute her? My cakes are allergen-free, nut-free.
Guys, I'm actually a better baker than Anusha because I actually have good jokes, unlike this Cold Stone wannabe.
Oh.
But how many Michelin stars do you have?
I have more than Anusha. That's all I can tell you. She said she has 13. Well, I have 14.
What an ugly number. So sorry, dude. So sorry.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm not. I'm superior.
You're really telling me you're superior? You don't even have a mustache.
Alright, chefs, let's not get too heated now.
I think you need to channel your inner Karen. Your inner chef's career, not some amateur Chef Ramsay. Who needs to engulf an inner Gordon Ramsay when you can be a better chef? You can be your inner Karen Scuria. I think that's a mindset we all need to learn. That Karen Scuria is better than anyone else on this planet.
Wow, I love
So
it.
if you had advice to offer our contestants, would that be your main advice?
I have 2 advice. 1, keep calm and be like Karen. The second piece of advice is to just make sure your food doesn't taste like Baskin Robbins.
If you don't live, then you're dead. If you don't laugh, then you're unhappy, and I get that sometimes you don't want to be happy. But the best of it all is to love. You have to love yourself, love your product, love what you're putting out there. And that will truly help you become the best version of yourself and put out the best product you possibly can. So channel that. Live, laugh, love.
Wow.
Anusha, don't act like you didn't just steal that off a Pinterest board and Dixie D'Amelio's Be Happy song.
Sometimes I don't want to be happy.
Thanks to our interesting guest chefs for that enlightening advice.
Let's check up to see how our bakers are doing.
After several attempts, here's the final head shape of the Grinch. And the head is almost ready.
Got the matcha macarons now, and here we have a cream cheese frosting. Matcha and cream cheese. I heard it pairs pretty well together. Well, we'll see about that. Like, these macarons are pretty bitter since I put a lot of matcha in them, so this will probably balance it out.
And now the cake is cooled and taken away from the baking mold. And now the fun time begins. Decorating the cake. This is what's gonna really give the cake its looks and its purpose in life.
After chilling it for a bit, I used a toothpick to draw out my design on the cake so it makes the decorations easier. I dyed some of my buttercream green and started piping it into the main area by creating small flowers. And then I did the same with the black buttercream by using it to fill in the belt area.
To decorate this 2-tier snowman cake, I decided to use the homemade vanilla lime buttercream, and after that was ready, I piped it on to give an almost smooth finish, but not too smooth, so it still looks a little real and also classy.
That's it, bakers. Time's up.
So, how have the past couple days been for you?
Pretty good. I had some fun baking my cake, and it turned out pretty nice, so they were pretty good.
So, explain to us once more what you've made, and has anything changed since you were originally planned it?
Honestly, I had this idea the whole time of making a Grinch stealing gifts through the chimney on top of a house in the village, which is called Whoville. So it hasn't really changed.
They're like somewhat the same as a concept, except for like the supposed Thai tea ones, I switched them to turmeric ginger because it's a lot easier to do than infusing Thai tea into a sugar syrup.
I think it came out better than I expected it to, actually. I was not expecting it to look like it did, so I'm pretty happy about how it came out.
I made a cake that kind of looked like Kevin from Home Alone, his plate of microwavable mac and cheese. So it kind of changed from my original concept because originally I wanted to make a 2-layered cake, but I think I didn't really have too much time for that one. So I decided to make a 1-layered cake, and then the outside of the cake, it was gonna be like 2 different colors, but then I decided to just make it white because I wanted to look kind of like exactly like that plate because his plate was white.
I think it actually came out pretty good. It's just it could have been a little better, but I think it's pretty good still.
Awesome. So, how do you feel about what you made?
I feel really good about what I've made. I feel proud of it. I think it really turned out the way I wanted it to.
I think the cake itself, like the texture and like the taste itself came out really good. This is a new chocolate recipe I tried. So I tried sprinkling in like sugar syrup and some things to kind of more moisture, and it tasted really good.
I think I feel pretty good. I think I have a good chance of winning against.
All right.
It's probably just like the fondant add-ons I did, like the eyes, nose, and buttons and everything, like the scarf too.
What did you think was like the worst part of your bake, or like something you were like not so proud of?
I made a Tres Leches cake, and I could have made it a bit more moist. That's the only concern I have.
Well, I forgot that I didn't have yellow food coloring, and it was pretty late at night, so I just couldn't go out and get yellow food coloring. And I've improvised mixing in green and red food colorings to make a weird yellow-ish color.
I just made stuff for the fun of it. To be honest, decorations-wise, I've done the bare minimum. Just frosting, middle, sandwich, done.
I think maybe with my cake when I was cutting it apart, it wasn't like held together as much. It was quite like breaking apart. But I think that's understandable because I didn't use egg. I used flax seeds.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So I think that's why like it didn't like bind together as much as I would have liked it to.
The frosting, when I was trying to smooth it on, it wouldn't smooth all the way because there was air bubbles in the frosting. So that part kind of ruined it a little. And then I was also planning on using coconut shavings to give it like a snow effect, but I actually couldn't find any, so it was kind of like upsetting at that part.
One thing I liked about the baking was probably my piping skills, because I normally don't really decorate my, like whenever I bake, like whenever I help my family bake cakes, we normally don't decorate the cake. It's just like plain. So I guess that's kind of like, my first time piping.
We've seen some great desserts, and now I think it's only appropriate that we give our contestants a moment to defend their beautiful creations.
What do y'all have to say for yourselves?
Finally, why do you deserve to win?
Because I've got many years of watching Tasty Desserts and MasterChef and Hell's Kitchen to prepare me for this moment.
I think it's because I've been putting in a lot of hard work to try to make this seem like fun as a show too, that you guys are putting in a lot of hard work as well. And it just honestly, it's not all about winning. It's just about having fun with it and just trying to compete with others.
Honestly, I think the movie's just iconic that I just deserve to win because I chose that movie.
I think I deserve to win because I'm gonna put in all my effort into this dessert, and I think it's really the effort that the audience should be looking for, and I think that's what really counts.
Oh, I don't care about winning. I just do it for fun.
All right.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I love that spirit.
Wow. Honestly, I'm super impressed. I really think these guys could make a career out of all this.
Or at least I'd be more than happy to buy all their stock.
Same. All right, well, there's no way that we can decide who won, so let's make the audience do it.
Go to the link in the chat or in the description below and vote on which one you thought was the best.
Also, be on the lookout for @EagleNationAHS, the Instagram story. There will also be some polls for easier voting as well.
It's important to note, though, that voting through the Google form is more comprehensive and will weigh more.
So thank you to all of our participants. I think I'm going to go order some Krispy Kreme now because after all that, I am hungry.
Me too. Until the next Bake Off. Bye.
Bye.